Is God the God of all religions? In other words, do all religions basically worship the same God? That is a very pervasive view in our culture. And this idea that we all worship the same God, and there's sort of an analogy that religion is like a bunch of blind men and an elephant. They're all blind, they're all feeling a part of the elephant, and one's feeling the leg, and he says, well, God or an elephant is like a great pillar. Another is feeling the trunk, and he says, well, an elephant is like a great hose. Another's feeling the side and says, an elephant is like a great wall. Another's feeling the tail and says, well, an elephant is like a rope. And so basically the idea is that we have some idea of part of God, but we don't see the whole thing. But the problem with that analogy is all of them are wrong. I mean, an elephant is not like a wall. An elephant is not like a rope. An elephant is a whole thing. And the reality is that God has revealed to us who he is through creation. That's his general revelation. But he's also revealed to us who he is in his word. And all the religions are mutually exclusive. They are not compatible. They make absolutely contradictory truth claims, not on little side things, but on the most fundamental things. Hinduism teaches that all is God, that everything, the universe, it's called pantheism, is part of God. Buddhism is basically atheistic. It says there is no God. Hinduism is also polytheistic. It's basically almost an infinite number of gods. In fact, so does Mormonism teach that. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam teaches there is only one God. But Christianity teaches that Jesus is God, and Islam denies that. I mean, I would think that's kind of important. Who God is in his very nature in Christianity is triune. He's a Trinity. He is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in one being God. And so they are fundamentally different. They are incompatible with one another. And as much as it sounds nice to say, well, Christianity is one of many ways to God, that is absolutely ruled out by the words of Jesus himself. In John chapter 14, verse 6, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. He says he is the only way to God. So there isn't multiple ways up at the mountain and they all find God at the top. There is one way, and that is Jesus Christ. And he makes this claim very exclusively. So he was either telling the truth, and he is the only way to God, or he was not telling the truth, and he is no way to God. Granted, we know that Jesus is the way to God because he died on the cross and God raised him from the dead, proving that we can trust him and we should believe what he says. In Acts chapter 4, verse 12, Peter says that there is no other name given to men under heaven by which we may be saved. Jesus is the only way. To say that there are many ways to God is not loving or nice. It's calling Jesus a liar. And we should not listen to that. We shouldn't. It denies the existence of the Christian God, and it denies what Jesus himself said. And so there are not many ways to God. There is one way to God. God did not send his son Jesus to be humiliated and tortured and killed and die on a cross to be one of many ways, but to be the only way. And so we need to reject this nice sounding idea and understand that no, these religions are not compatible with one another. They don't overlap in any of the most important things, and they are not many ways to God. Only Jesus is the way to God.